Hey guys, you're watching Daniel Gian Talk, and today we're going to be doing a full review of the 2018 horror comedy Stree, starring Rajkummar Rao. But before we get started, I want to let you guys know, next week's review is up to you. We're putting up a poll in the community page. The three choices are...
To Bang 1, Monte Carnica, and Luck by Chance. We will be reviewing all three of these films, but the order in which we do them will be decided by you guys. So the poll will be live the moment this video ends, if not already. So go ahead and go and check that out. And before we get started, if you like what we have to say about this video, don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and don't forget to ring the bell. But first things first, let's get right into it. What'd you think of the movie?
I really liked this. I had a very good time watching this film. The songs didn't bother me. I watched all the songs.
There was only one, I think. I just remember like the very first one.
Yeah, the very first one was it's my favorite Indian song of all time, just because of the dancer itself, you know, which is...
She was a hottie.
She was hottie. She could move them hips too.
Very much so.
Yes.
Like, she wasn't very proportioned, and I'm not talking shit. I'm not trying to be like this misogynist, but normally it's like what I'm used to seeing.
She was skinny. She was very thin.
That's what I'm saying. Yes. She wasn't like, here's huge, wide hips or like what, but she moved her body better than any of the other people that I've seen in recent memory on, like, in terms of Indian movies. Like, she was actually moving her body in a hypnotic way where I'm like I believe the guys in the scene. I'm like, I'm with them. I was with them. I enjoyed it as well. I will say, though, I was a little bit disappointed, like the littlest amount disappointed, because I'm with you. I enjoyed the movie through and through, that they didn't play with this girl more. Like, I didn't like that she became this hunter type.
She became Van Helsing.
But
was she? Because
no, at the end. We'll get to the end in a second. I'm just saying, you got to look at the movie for what it is.
Right.
It doesn't matter what she became. Like, the way they set it up is she's the girl. She's Stree. She's the woman.
Right.
And I actually liked her being Stree and her being the woman and her like falling in love with Rajkummar Rao, or at least leading us to believe that potentially. And I thought the movie was actually going to be about him convincing everybody else that she's not as bad as everyone thinks.
Right.
And there was like going to be some other, like, that's where I thought the comedy was going to come into play. I thought it was going to be more slapstick. So I'm a little disappointed it didn't go that way. Like I said, the littlest amount. Like, it didn't bother me where the movie was ruined. It was just like, oh, damn. Because for me, it was like a good play. Like, obviously, this is actually based on something. Like this phenomenon. But it's not Stree. Like, they made it up for this movie, but like that's based on something. So of course it's
like a story in Karnataka, like in another.
But it makes you. All of our cultures have this. Mexicans have this. Like, I'm sure there's a Puerto Rican legend.
Right.
I don't know. Maybe you fold into Mexican. I don't know. Is there a Puerto Rican legend? La Llorona and like things like that for Mexicans.
Chupacabra comes from Puerto Rico.
So then maybe that, but it's not the same though.
No.
There's no woman figure?
I'm sure there is, but,
Just an evil mom?
I grew up here, so...
Okay. But I'm saying, my point is, it was a nice little, spin on that, and so if they would have went full comedy, it would have been even, better, because they just did a dumb horror movie on La Llorona, and this was great. Like, I enjoyed it, because there's a scene at that party, like, when she's stripping at that party, and then she leaves. And then the very next day, or a few hours later, whatever, when Rajkummar Rao pisses on the wall.
Oh, it's the same party.
And then they're all getting pissed at each other, but that's probably happened. Like, because when you really take a step back and think about what they're arguing about something that you and I would both assume to be made up and bullshit.
Yeah.
Right? Like, really, like, my piss is really going to bring the spirits in. Like, that's what you would believe in normal life. And then obviously you find out that this shit's real, right? Which is actually one of the good things about this movie. But I'm sure that conversation has gone on plenty of times. Just maybe not about peeing on a wall, but, like, they're arguing about nothing. They're arguing about piss. Like, I don't know. I just thought it was a nice little touch. The fact that they're Indian makes it even better. Just because I feel like I'm looking in, like, through the looking glass of like, oh, this is probably a piece of culture for certain people. Just like if you were to look at the Mexicans who freak out about La Llorona, it'd be another like little looking
Or
glass.
just all these urban myths. Bloody Mary.
Same thing, exactly.
Where I grew up, there was always there was the White Witch.
I don't even know what that is.
So it was just there was a tale that there was a ghost that lived in Niles Canyon, which is this canyon that takes you from one city to another. And at nighttime, if you drove too late, you would see her, and if she would cause car crashes and stuff like that.
I actually, even though I bring up La Llorona, I never brought up on any of that stuff.
The secret sidewalk, same town. They said there was like they always tell you that there was a satanic cult that like hung out.
Yeah, I never got
on the
those
secret
stories.
Sidewalk, like
you know what it was? My mom just showed me like Nightmare on Elm Street. Like, that was my boogeyman, was Freddy Krueger.
So you were just worried about Freddy the whole time?
Oh, fuck yeah. Okay. I had nightmares, like, genuine, for years when I was a little kid. I'd have to sleep with my dad because I couldn't fucking sleep. Like, and
this is what this is...
From a little kid, like, I remember my mom showing me and my cousins before we could understand anything because we thought we were, like, tough kids. Yeah. Like, yeah, we can watch this. Dude, and now it's like whatever. It doesn't bother me. I'm over it. Like I realize, it's bullshit. This is all.
I revisited those films, and they're nowhere near as scary as they were when I was.
But they were fucking scary to the point where like I had.
When you're a kid, for sure.
Nightmares, like actual night terrors. That movie,
which makes sense because he takes.
I know. That was the scariest thing. Like just closing your eyes and like, oh fuck, here we go. But I cut you off. You're gonna say something.
I'm saying this is the same kind of thing. Where you have this. Everybody knows that there's somebody doing.
Everybody
knows it in town that there's like a ghost killing people.
And you got to paint this on your wall.
You got to figure out a way to avoid. Said ghost.
Which is like
it's like
some Judaism type thing,
right?
Where with the fucking Moses, whatever it is, like. The plague's coming.
Oh yeah, you gotta put the mark on your door so that
your firstborn doesn't get killed.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's this mythos, which is all. But I thought it was funny. I liked Tripathi's character.
Oh, he was great.
He was fucking funny.
Awesome. He's more. Every time I see him, he steals the show.
Dude, you haven't seen Luca Chupri, which is actually this guy's in this film. In Luca Chupri, the guy with the beard.
Yeah. He
is fucking so funny. In the movie, he plays like this flamboyant brother. Like I don't know how to describe it other than like he deserved his own movie.
Yeah.
And that Luca Chupri sucked, but like Tripathi is a fucking phenomenal actor because he blends it. And he can play these serious fucking roles that we saw, and then he plays obscure, over the top. But this guy wasn't as over the top, but he can do that. He has a huge range, and I enjoy it. I mean, even Rajkummar Rao was pretty good.
Oh yeah, no, he's
playing
great.
Like an innocent dummy. Like, at first, I didn't think he was going to be, like, He's not really dumb. That's not the best word to say.
Naive.
Naive is a better way.
Well, there's definitely an arrogance to him at the beginning. Like he's looking for a way.
I like that he was a seamstress, too. Yeah. Or he was, like, a master. That's not what you'd call it. What would you call it?
He wouldn't be a seamstress. He was
Tailor?
a tailor. He was a tailor, yeah.
I like that angle, though. I like that touch where he was the shit.
The comedy was funny. I mean, she's fucking gorgeous, She might be my new favorite.
If she called my name out 3 times, it'd be hard for me to turn around, like not to ignore her. Exactly.
I like her performance, how she like the whole time the misdirect was perfect because she totally acted like some weirdo. Like just like the way she interacted with him, it was like real awkward the whole time and never said her name. And I know that there's a sequel in production right now. So I'm
assuming she's the woman. She's Stree.
I'm wondering if... I'm assuming that she's a different version of it. Like, she came in from another town. Like, maybe Stree...
Or she's just going around... Or she's going around collecting trinkets from all of these other... Like, that'd be badass. If, like... She's just trying to become this ultimate fucking supernatural woman.
Right.
By going around and slaying all of these figures and taking them and becoming this ultimate...
Yeah, because everything she said...
takes her hair...
Her whole movie was... Everything she said was vague. She never, like, gave him or anyone any real information. She somehow knew how to take this person. She said she lost someone 3 years before.
And we don't even know how to fucking defeat the main person because that's a reoccurring gag.
Yeah.
Like, they're about to tell you what happens.
And
something happens where they don't, which is fun.
Yeah.
But I don't know what the theory is. Like, I don't know if she's the woman or if she's like All we know is she takes the hair, and then the hair.
I don't think
fuses,
she's the woman, but
the hair fuses with her though.
Right,
so
exactly. And then she disappears on the bus.
So,
but there's also like, she disappears in the movie too the whole time, and we're assuming, oh no, she just like.
Maybe
leaves.
she's the one stealing the men.
Something could be happening.
Like the woman is the woman. But she's
I'm definitely interested in watching the sequel because I want to know more about this. Like,
it created a world.
Yes,
It created this.
It was a cool world. If there's one thing I would nitpick with was the whole like, your mom was a whore and the whole town knew except you thing at the end. Just kind of came out of nowhere.
Just so he could fit in this Azor Ahai Game of Thrones
exactly
legend
just
thing.
to fit into this heroic like myth. That nobody seemed to know about until the very, like...
It didn't even really seem to matter, either.
No.
Like, it doesn't even seem to... I mean, I get it. Especially since, with the conversation he has with his dad at the beginning, he knew that fat chick was a prostitute.
She's a professional.
Right from the beginning. Like, he was like, oh, you're one of those people? Let me just pop out. Let me just pull out a wad. Leave. Like, he knew what to do, so, like...
And he tells him, son, I've had a lot of friendships before you're born, you're not that kind of guy, so...
I mean, I kind of get it, but I understand where you're... Like, it didn't really add anything. Like, once
it would have worked more if it was a reoccurring theme throughout the film.
Well, I didn't even know he didn't have a mom.
Right.
Like, that, like...
Yeah.
I just assumed she wasn't on
Was it never
screen.
really mentioned that she died or whatever?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like, it didn't feel like he was empty because he didn't have a mother figure.
It didn't. Well, also, like, the relationship with his dad wasn't really a factor in the film either. Like,
it didn't even seem bad.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't have any
negative. Well, it's because they barely interacted. That's why you barely saw the dad on the screen.
The dad was there to make sure the audience knew that he wasn't bullshitting about his skills as a fucking tailor.
Yeah.
Because he's like, look at my son. He has the hands of a god or something like that.
Right. Like, if he took this talent serious, he'd be the greatest tailor of all time kind of deal.
Which could be true, but no one fucking brings... in America, I can't speak for anywhere else in the world because I'm assuming it's the opposite. People don't go to tailors that often.
Right.
Like, people tell me that all the time. Like, oh, you're just gonna throw your shoes away? You could just get it resold for like dress shoes or something. If you're and I'm just like,
it's
don't
like,
you understand these shoes were fucking $25?
Yeah,
like
there's
go buy another pair for $25.
Not only that, but like finding like
a tailor,
or not a cobbler.
A cobbler, yeah,
like is not easy anymore. Like not the way it used to be. So like you might have to drive an hour and a half. Like the time and gas you spend trying to get these resold.
And you can just go to Kohl's or
just get a new pair of shoes.
Yeah, just...
Exactly. That's the other thing, too. Like, he tailored this dress for her, and that
didn't really come out to anything.
Exactly. Like, there was little things like that.
Even the, like, gathering the cat hair and all this, like, didn't turn into anything.
Because we didn't see her do anything. Like, we didn't see her put it... I think we did one time she puts it together.
Well, no, you see it, but it doesn't pay off because...
We don't know what it does.
We don't...
Like, it knocks the ghost out. It knocks Stree out for a little bit for when he doesn't want to stab her.
Dude, I loved when he fucking got some balls.
Oh, yeah.
When Stree was like...
He was like, shut up! Hey! Why are you screaming? Why do you keep screaming?
And she was like... And you could tell her, like, soften up. Yeah. Like, oh. Which is totally a... could be argued as, like, a misogynistic thing. Because even in the dialogue, they're like, she's low IQ... They're like deducing who she was.
Right.
She's clearly low IQ because she keeps coming back tomorrow. Like, what doesn't this dumbass know? Like those. But that's what's funny. That's what I enjoyed about it. Those little bits. The way they did the horror though wasn't my favorite. Like I never felt scared. And so to call this a horror comedy is a little bit of a stretch.
There was only one part where my hairs got like raised off the back of my neck for a second.
When she floats?
It was the first time we actually see her, and I was expecting her to like have this super scary like Pee-wee's Big Adventure, like something crazy come out of her face when Jonna sees her, but that didn't happen.
I loved how she floated across the screen.
Was cool. That was cool, but I was expecting like to have that like that I was like tensing up like here it comes, and then it didn't, it was just...
It's the way they shot it.
Yeah.
To be honest, and it's like just...
It was almost like they didn't want it to be like...
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The way they shot it. That's not a critique. I just wouldn't call this a horror film.
Right.
I would say that it's like a fantasy It's like a fantasy film.
Well,
it's
look,
like Brothers Grimm.
How much of that has to do with because it was made for like mainstream Indian audience? You know what I mean?
No, I think if they wanted to tell the horror, if they wanted this to be a horror film, it could have been a straight up.
If this was made in the States, like the guys that got kidnapped would have been like ripped to shreds.
Well, that's the thing. They didn't want to kill them though.
It would have been.
This was like an Avengers type thing.
I feel like there would have been some sort of bloodshed though. Like it would have been scarier here. It would have been gorier here.
It's just about it's all about the way they shot it.
It would have been like Jennifer's Body kind of stuff.
I never saw that movie.
It's actually pretty good. You should check it out.
I know there's some lesbian scenes. I've seen those, but I haven't seen the movie.
It's
more
actually,
than that.
It's pretty good. No, it's a good movie. It's a good movie. Surprisingly enough, it's probably Megan Fox's best performance in my opinion.
I don't have a problem with Megan Fox. No. She gets a lot of shit. She's hot. But what I was going to say is it's just the way they shot. I think it's just the way because they like to have the ghost be the POV.
Yeah.
That's not always going to generate the best. Like, that just suspense. Because horror is suspense. You can't have a good horror film without suspense because literally the whole point is you have to be on the edge of your seat. You're afraid of what's to come. It's suspense.
Right.
If you're doing POV the whole time, you have no character to be within because you're literally inside the killer's head.
Right.
That's never going to be
the killer, so you're not.
Well, not even that. I'm just saying you're literally the POV. You're in the killer's mind, so you're observing the terror on the other person as opposed to being with that other person being scared. So it'll almost never be, this. But again, not a critique, more of just an overall commentary on it. Because to me, it's definitely a comedy film, but it's more of like a horror in the sense of like a Brothers Grimm.
Yeah.
Where it could be scary. Like, I think little kids would be scared.
Oh, yeah.
Shitless of this, like, genuinely. And that's a good thing.
Right.
But,
I mean, they could have made her a little uglier, too. Like,
She was, I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't have sex with her. So, she's pretty ugly.
Well, I mean, she was dead.
Okay, so we can agree that she was ugly then.
I don't think she was ugly though. I think the act.
So if you're saying of all the corpses to have sex with, she'd be the one.
I think whoever they designed, like whoever was the face of the actual
was attractive.
Like she just had good features. Like it wasn't. She didn't have scars on her face. There wasn't like anything like
Would you want maggots?
The only time, no, but it was just when she opened. The only time it was like even remotely scary was like when she opened her mouth and screamed.
Dude, that was so funny. I know we've already talked about it, but when he tells her to shut up, that scene was making me laugh because she was just screaming the whole time in the background, like, ah! And they're just having conversation, and you could just hear it in the background. Yeah. I don't know if it was supposed to be that way, like it was supposed to be comical, or it was supposed to be scary, and you're supposed to be in it. But I thought it was pretty funny.
Right.
But overall, what would you rate this movie?
I don't know, I give it like an 8.5, man. It's a pretty solid movie. I had a good time watching it.
Well, you don't like horror movies, so like...
I'm not a big horror fan, but I had a good time watching it. It was
fun.
This kind of movie, I think I kind of prefer Go Go Gone a little more than this.
They're the same writers, not the same, like the Raj and DK, they wrote this film.
Right.
They wrote and directed Go Go Gone.
Okay.
So different director. Actually, funny story. Well, I don't know if it's funny or not, but the director of this movie was confused for Anurag Kashyap. This is like years prior to this movie, and he got his ass kicked. They beat the shit out of him because they thought he was Anurag Kashyap. Fuck, what was this? There's a reason why too. It was they obviously confused his identity. Like they genuinely were like, "Oh, you're Anurag? I'm gonna beat the shit out of you now because we're gonna fuck up Anurag." Shiv Sena leader Thackeray, actually the same one, had criticized Kashyap for calling his film Bombay Velvet instead of Mumbai Velvet. So, because he wanted the film to be that, he basically
so it was over politics.
Yeah, because it should be Mumbai instead of Bombay.
Right.
And he got the brunt end of that.
But it's a period piece.
I'm just saying that's what he got. That's what he got beat up for being. It's like there's no mention of what Anurag said to that, but I'm very curious to know what he would say to
what the retort. Yeah.
Because he was the one who was supposed to get his ass whooped. Right. And then some other fucking Indian dude got his ass whooped. But yeah, I'm like at an 8. I'm a solid 8. I enjoyed the movie. At no point was I bored. At no point did I feel like, oh, here's a scene of this X, Y, or Z. The dance we already just like the song.
I liked the credit song too. That was like
it fit.
It was fun.
Everything fit.
Yeah.
Like I I had a good time. Like it. This is a movie I wish. This is a movie that I wish they would have played out here. I would have liked to have seen this one in the theater. They didn't play this one out here at all. But overall,
was it a commercial success? I mean, they're making a second one. So.
It was.
Yeah.
It was a sleeper hit. Like no one was expecting it, and then all of a sudden, people went apeshit over the ending. I'm telling you, man, twists. I'm fucking telling you, twists sell films.
Which is amazing because you could spot the twist from a mile away. Like
you don't even know what the twist. It's not even a twist. She just fucking takes the hair and disappears.
Well, that twist or the twist that it wasn't her the whole time.
It could be both.
You know,
it could be both.
And I was like,
for me,
I was like,
this
is too obvious. Like,
for me, it was the ending. Yeah, the ending, like of her.
Yeah.
But I keep saying this. People, one of these days, people in the comments, some people will actually agree with me. Maybe one day you'll agree with me. But the formula for a successful Indian film.
Well, Hindi film anyway.
I think Indian films
across
the fucking board
is twist.
A good twist.
Right.
And I mean really good, where you can't predict it. And even if it's over the top or whatever,
even if it's a bad twist,
it needs to be revelatory, where you're like, oh shit.
Right.
If it has this fucking good twist,
it needs to be unexpected.
Good song and dance, and good chemistry with the leads.
Yeah. Because I will say I didn't expect her to keep the braid at the end. And,
I'm just saying, I think twists are way more important than people, and then at least we...
Right.
As I watch, because I'm like, you start to see like, okay, what films are successful? What films had twists in
The ones
them?
that people seem to go crazy over always have, I get what you're saying. Yeah, we've talked about that before, but anything else you want to add?
No. I mean, overall, I think it was pretty good. Like I said a million times, I enjoyed it. Thanks for recommending it. The next few movies we're reviewing no matter what. What we do next, we will leave up to you guys. Your options are The Bang 1, Luck by Chance, and Manikarnika. I was going to do Fandry, which is directed by the person who did Sairat. So I'm like curious to know another film by them, because we haven't seen anything else by that. Although I do know that we have 2 or 3 subscribers who have been asking us to do Fandry forever, which is actually why I want to do it.
Right.
But don't forget, guys, to vote for what you want us to do next. As we mentioned at the very beginning of the video, 3 choices are, one more time, Dabang 1, Manikarnika, as well as Luck by Chance. So it's live in the community page now. Go ahead and vote, and yeah.
We'll see you next time.